Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta. Hi, everyone. Happy
Hi.
holidays. Great to be here with everyone. And again, as Gloria said, we are Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. Did I say I'm Rosetta? Forgot what I
Yes.
said. Well, I'll say it again. I'm Rosetta. And as usual, before we get started, we'd love it if you would hit the thumbs up icon, the blue thumbs up icon, or the white thumb. It's a white one, right? It's a white
That's
one.
right.
Thumbs up icon. Subscribe below and hit that bell notification. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, I swear I'm going to get that bell.
I
Another.
tell you, the next one, we will have our bells.
I will have my bell along with my jingly hat. I will have my bell.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let's get started. Thanks everyone for coming. We really appreciate you joining us every week. And today, what tea am I drinking? I am drinking, surprise, surprise, organic licorice root.
Licorice.
It's just licorice root, nothing else. So that's what I'm drinking. So I'm going to cheers to you, and I have a new cup here.
Oh, look how cool that mug is.
Pink and
Cheers.
gold. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
All right, great.
Mm. So I
Yum, yum,
decided
yum.
to go through my little pot of tea bags. I have little individual bags. So today we're going to be doing a Good Earth sweet and spicy.
Is that the
Remember-
original Good Earth?
Yes. Remember when you used to go in that restaurant and it would hit your door, you hit the door and the first thing you'd say was, I want tea. And they'd go hot or cold. And I'd go, can I do both? Can I start hot and then go to cold? And they go, sure. I love that tea. It is red rooibos, chicory, lemongrass, papaya, chamomile, ginseng leaves, anise seeds, ginger root, dandelion root, orange peel, and orange oil.
I love it. It's
Yum,
chocked
yum,
full
yum.
of yumminess. I love
Total,
anise. Anise is star anise is licorice. Did you know that?
of course, of
I
course.
love it.
Licorice is in everything we do. So cheers, everyone.
Cheers again, everyone.
Mm.
Yum, yum, yum.
So as always, we kick it off with number one, reminding everyone, Ellen tells us to be kind to one another and to listen to one another. And we send our thoughts and prayers for her and her crew or anyone that's affected by the COVID virus. Ellen, we miss you, but we want you to take care of yourself.
Yep, take care of yourself, and we're looking forward to you coming back bright and new and early in the new year.
That's right, January 4th, 2021. Woohoo! So we're going to kick off our conversation talking about The Bachelorette.
Yep, we are. And it's coming down to the wire, right? Are you guys watching
Yes.
it? You people out
Yes.
there, anyone watching it? Been watching it, and it's like we said, we love it and we hate it, but we got to keep watching because we're invested already. That's what they do.
Well, we want to keep you all informed. So if, let us know, what do you think of it? If you're like, waste of my time, would never do it, totally hooked, comment below.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your comments. And, it's down to the wire. So we only have two more episodes. So we've got to find out who she picked. Although it's been a long and interesting season this time around with Tayshia. Claire first, then Tayshia. And if you haven't watched it and you don't want to be spoiled, now's the time to maybe fast forward our little chat so you don't get spoiled. But for those of you who have, what did you think? She went to the hometowns. Well, actually, it wasn't really hometowns. The families came to her in Palm Springs, and it was, who was it? Ivan. It was, I don't know, Brandon, Ben.
Ben.
Who was it?
Ben. I said we
Ben,
both said
yes,
Ben at the same time.
Ben, and then there's one other, I forgot the name. Goes to show how I'm paying attention,
Yeah.
right? So she
Well, it
went
was kind of,
to,
difficult because remember, she also had all the guys. So the guys came back and talked about how they felt about the season and each
yes,
other.
yes. So the guys came back as very intimate, no studio audience, just the guys and Chris Harrison, and they talked about things that happened. But she went to three of the guys' hometowns, and she was it three of the guys or four of the guys she went to the
Four.
home
She went to
four of the
four.
guys four of the guys, and she actually decided not to keep Ben, which
Right.
was I kind of guessed that she would do that because he was the one that wasn't as close to her as
Right.
she would have liked. And I think that she had more of a real connection with the other guys because Ben was the one that really didn't open up too much to her.
Right.
And yeah, so
Yeah,
he's the
he,
one
he
to
didn't
go.
share his feelings like the other ones. They were all like, I feel like I'm falling in love with you. I really care for you. And Ben said his brain just wouldn't, it just stopped working. So I felt a little bad for him
I
though.
felt bad for him because if you're like that, it's hard for you to open up because of his past experiences. But then he did say, you know, how all the guys get, in the car when they leave and then the camera's inside the car videoing them. He did say that maybe she didn't feel the same way. If only he had expressed his love for her, it may have been different. But
Yeah.
I thought it was the right choice. And I don't think that they would have, it wouldn't have been a good connect, right? You've got to go with
Right.
your gut feeling. We always say that, right? Your gut
Right.
feeling is your second brain. So there you
Right.
go. She kept three of the guys, and we're going to see next week what happens.
Absolutely. And we'll let you know.
Yes, we will.
So The Voice crowned the new winner last night. And at one point, it was really interesting for me because I think John had the most magnificent voice I've ever heard because he's operatic and they had him singing more contemporary music. And I thought, wow, he's going to go all the way, not so much. There was, it was just meant to be. So the last two finalists, it was really interesting because they were at, the coaches live together, Blake and Gwen. So they're doing the finale and they're like, okay, and the winner is, and it's just like, and Gwen's like, oh, I mean, she's so expressive and so cute. And, she had said earlier, she goes, I might for the first time have a chance to beat Blake Sheldon. Well, she did. Her singer, Carter Rubin, who just turned 15, is the youngest winner of The Voice, the person that Rosetta said she wanted to win.
That
I
was
want
the
to
only
jump.
reason I was watching the show because I love him. I love him.
Yes,
He's amazing for 15-year old.
he's amazing. I know. He reminds me of Josh Groban. Remember how young Josh was when he first started? And I mean, and he would just belt out these songs and you would be like, wow.
Yes.
I think that Carter is going to do the same thing. So, congratulations, Carter. May you have a wonderful career. And for the top four runner ups, have no fear. You all showed up and showed out. You're all going to have amazing careers, just beautiful, beautiful voices.
Yep, we wish you much success and congratulations to Carter again. And I'm excited to see the path that he follows now that he's won and what he's going to do. Because I've noticed in the past, like when the contestants win on The Voice, I don't hear what they do.
Right,
I'm not
right.
really sure what happens to them.
They normally drop a single or they drop an album and then they just kind of fade off, like American Idol. We know Fantasia, Carrie Underwood, Kelly Clarkson. I mean, we know what happens to them. However, The Voice, not so much. So it'll be interesting to see how that all turns out.
Yes, it will. We'll keep abreast of what happens to him.
Well, the electoral colleges on Monday all showed up and did the confirmation that President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris won over 306 electoral votes. So in that respect, it is done. And then um, the I guess he's the the Speaker of the House, Mitch McConnell, came out and on the Senate floor congratulated Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So now that that part is done, politically, we're just waiting for Georgia to do their votes on January 5th, and that will determine the mixture of the Senate. And my prayer is still that we will have a flat 50-50 if that's possible, or whoever's in charge, they're going to at least be open and willing to work and walk across the aisle and collaborate. This my way or the highway mentality, I think American citizens are done with that. We're done.
Well, at least we're done. Me and you are done.
Yes. Well, we are American citizens, so I am speaking my truth.
Yes. And I just want to point out real quick, I saw this t-shirt that was pretty cool on this YouTube video I was watching of the Boys to Men, and one of them had a t-shirt on and it said Biden, and it was spelled Byedon. You get that? Biden. So bye-bye, Donald Trump.
Bye-bye.
That was kind of
I don't know if you remember, but Americans were kind of tired when President Bush left the White House, and when he left, they sang bye-bye to him. So it's going to be interesting to see the evolution of the transfer of leadership. So everyone, remember, it's done. Let's let go, move on. Make it good for all American citizens.
Yes, and that's what Biden is doing. He's making it all Americans.
Yes. He's already walking across the aisle and working and collaborating. So the campaign he ran on was to walk across the aisle, and that's what he's doing. So I'm very happy to see that. So SpaceX, in case you all don't know, SpaceX is a company that's owned by Elon Musk, who also owns Tesla. Well, SpaceX launched a rocket on last Wednesday from Texas. It traveled over to the Gulf of Florida, so not very far. And then something happened and it turned around and it came back to Texas. And upon landing, it exploded on impact. Now, you and I were like, oh my God, that's horrible.
Yes.
Not only did it crash, that's millions and millions of dollars just gone because the rocket ship exploded. Well, SpaceX said, nope, that was good. So
they thought that was a good thing that they had done.
And so we're like, okay, was it good because there were no humans on board, so there was no loss of life? Or is there something else that we're missing? Because we didn't get it. Because if we did that and we lost $50+ million, I think we'd be a little upset.
I think so too.
Yeah. So they didn't make matters any better or any worse. So Sunday they deployed another rocket that went up, and it deployed a satellite for Sirius XM and the internet. So that makes me think, okay, so are you now, Elon Musk, are you getting into the internet business? We already got Xfinity and we got AT&T, and there are a few other different, T-Mobile, lots of different providers. So I guess they're going to throw their hat into that too. Interesting. We will let you know as we know. So, Rosetta, do you like scary movies?
Do I like scary movies? It's really weird. I love scary movies, but I hate them as well, because half the time I'm with my pillow or my blanket covering my eyes, because I just don't, I love it. I want to know what's happening, but I don't like it when they scare you. I don't want to see it.
Well, I'm just going to pre-warn you. Whoopie is in a new movie. It's called The Stand, and it's based on books by Stephen King. This was either done, I think it was done as a movie years ago. However, they're turning it into a 9-series mini series. And it starts on the 17th, and it is a pandemic horror movie. Now, Whoopi doesn't like gore, so I don't think it'll be where intestines are pulled out of the body, that kind of gore. However, I think it's going to be suspenseful.
And that's the ones that I get scared of most than the gore. I can manage the gore. The gore is good. The suspense is just going to be killing me. But I have to watch it because of Whoopi.
I know, and I don't usually like things like this. So what I'm probably going to do is set it up to record, and because I don't like to watch scary movies at night. I like daylight. I can open up the windows.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so what I'll do is I'll do daylight and then I'll watch it and then we'll see what that's like. So as we check it out, we will let you all know what we think.
And that's coming up tomorrow, isn't it? The 17th?
Yes, tomorrow the 17th is the beginning.
Yes, so everyone that wants to watch it, do a Google for The Stand.
Yes, it's on CBS and I'm sure we will be talking about it.
Yes, we will.
Also, Netflix is going to release Chadwick Boseman's last movie. It's entitled Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and it is about the history of jazz. I think it's going to be bittersweet because it's the last movie that they had in the can of him. So, and it's on Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, you won't be able to see it right away. Is that something you're going to check out, Rosetta?
Yeah, I think I'm going to check it out because it's his last one. And it also has Viola Davis. And I love both of them. They're just really, really fantastic actors.
Yes.
Because it's the last one. And I have been seeing little clips of it. You know how when some of the stars get to be interviewed on different talk shows, they talk about it, and it looks quite interesting. And yes, I will be watching it.
Well, cool. Well, we will let you know what we think of that. And everyone should be ready. Girl power. Woohoo! Woohoo! Wonder Woman is coming out on Christmas Day. It will be streamed on HBO Max, or in countries where the pandemic is not out of control, you can actually go to the theater and watch the movie. So Rosetta and I will check it out. And then when we come back next year, we'll let you know what we thought.
Long time coming. I love Gal Gadot.
I know, she is so beautiful, beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, they finally came out and told us who is the headliner for the New Year's Eve celebration in New York. This year, it's going to be J-Lo. Previous couple of years, it has been Mariah Carey. So, and then Post Malone. I mean, I love how they move it around and
we all know what happened to Mariah Carey's performance, right?
Yes, we do. So J-Lo, practice, honey. Rosetta and I were always talking about music because we both love music. I think some people use auto-tune too much. They can't sing worth hell, if you know what I mean. They just and then they auto-tune, they release it, and if anything ever happens to that technology, they're
a done deal. That's it. No more.
Yeah. Like I don't know what is it, the hottest group going now? I think it's BTS, is the young guys from
BTS from Korea. They can actually sing. Actually, they're not auto-tuned, I don't think.
Well, the sound is auto-tuned because it sounds the same song to song to song. And
okay.
And sometimes so when a performer, when a singer is also a performer, sometimes what they do is they dub the song in so that they can dance.
Right.
A lot of what they've been doing lately, it looks like they're dancing and just following along.
Well, they can't. Their song, the most recent one, is mainly in English, so they're not everyone in BTS can sing. They don't speak fluent English.
They don't all speak English. Absolutely. And I think that's what's coming across, because I've had friends say to me, oh, I don't know why they're getting all these awards because they can't sing. And I go, yes, they can. And they go, well, then why are they always faking it?
Well, it's hard because they don't speak English. But you know what people like about them, and I love them because of this? Man, can they dance? They put on a good show.
And that's what I told them. Yes. I mean, because, everybody, Beyonce, Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, everybody, when you are throwing down and you're dancing, you can't do that and breathe. So you have to, either sing live and don't move very much, or let them play your music, dub your music, and then you just, sing along with it softly and dance. I mean, as long as you've got the talent, that's all.
That's okay. We're not hating on that, right? Their dancing is what makes the entertainment, why we see them.
Absolutely.
And the beat of the music.
I love that they're of them, how they have lime green hair and pink hair, and I love that. I really do. And I wish them much continued success, and also to give them another positive shout out, and we'll put a link down below. They donated $5 million to Black Lives Matter.
Oh, really? I did not hear that.
Yeah, because they said that is something they know what it's like to have, to be mistreated just because. And I'm sure they do, because they can go to some countries, and while the young girls might love them, maybe not so much the adults. So thank you for showing up and being helpful. That was beautiful.
Thank you so much, BTS. That's really appreciated. Yes. Wow, I'm pleasantly surprised. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. So we're still experiencing global warming, and thank God our new president really understands global warming. The East Coast is preparing right now because we had a rainstorm here on Sunday, rained hard, a lot. And it started to move on into the center of the country where they started getting snow. And I don't mean like a couple of inches of snow, a lot of snow. Now it's headed on its way to like New York, New Jersey. They don't know if it's like they have a cold front, then there's another front coming in. If they collide, it might go along the coastline. It may go all the way into New York, New Jersey. So the patterns are being monitored right now. However, they're talking, 26 degrees and below. It's going to be very, very cold.
I'm already cold hearing you say that.
Everyone bundle up and be safe. And here in California, we will not be outdone by anybody. We had an earthquake in Morgan Hill, and it was 3.7 magnitude. So enough to remind us that we live in earthquake country. And thank God there were no injuries and no major damage. So that was good. So Rosetta and I were laughing, and yesterday was the last day for attempted guaranteed delivery of packages for Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever you're mailing. It was supposed to get in the mailbox yesterday. So we hope you're all doing well. You're all, everything you want to get in the mail, it's in the mail. I've kind of given all my people a disclaimer. I'm like, don't stress, it's coming. So it'll be a surprise of a surprise, because you don't know when you're going to get it. Because I have things where they tell me they're going to get it in 3 days, and 10 days later, they don't have it. So why stress out? Let's just have some fun with it.
And it's okay, coming. Because if you get it after Christmas, it'll be a nice surprise, and you have one more gift to open.
There you go. There you go. So Rosetta and I were checking out something very interesting on Sunday on 60 Minutes. They were talking about how our medical executive of the state of California is investigating Sutter Health because they're gouging their customers. They shared examples of where if you live in Northern California, where we are, and you have a baby, you would pay $345,000 for that process. Whereas if you're in Southern California, you're going to pay $690,000. I was like, oh my God, the numbers were astonishing. And apparently what happened is Sutter Health moved in and they started purchasing hospitals. So what they've done is they have all of these hospitals that are part of their community. So they buy them, and when they buy them, then they make them extensions. I've noticed since I watched that on Sunday, when I'm out and about, there are shopping centers that were kind of like closing, and they're adding Sutter Homes clinics. So that was really interesting because now we have Sutter Health, and we have Kaiser. Those are the two big conglomerates here in California. Now the executive is going after them and actually sued them on behalf of the citizens of California. So I don't know how that's going to end up. However, if it's as positive as we think, then other states are probably going to start going after companies in your local areas. So if you are someone that's aware or you have more information that you'd like to share, please, comment down below and let us know what you think about being gouged to double just because they can.
That's ridiculous. And I'm so glad that they're going to do a lawsuit to help the people. That's really great. Yeah, that was quite shocking to hear that, and we didn't understand why. So now you know. I'm sure you didn't know, just like we didn't know before this whole thing on 60 Minutes. But now we know. Comment below if you have anything to say about this, or specifically, like you live in like maybe Sacramento and you were gouged, and what the whole ordeal was. We'd love to know.
Absolutely. And on the same night, we also heard that 3 large corporations are leaving California. Tesla, Oracle, and HP Enterprise are all moving to Austin, Texas. And I'm sure from a cost of living perspective, it's looking good to the companies. However, it's going to be sort of like a wait and see. Yeah, I was working for Intel when Intel moved to Austin, Texas. And initially it was like, heave ho, off we go. And then they found out that some of the skill sets that they needed were in California. So it's going to be interesting to see. A lot of companies are saying to their employees, we're not going to reopen buildings until, April, September. Google said, if you want to work from home and it's working for you and it's working for us, you can work there indefinite. So the whole workforce is going to shift. The message that these corporations are attempting to give to our governor, Newsom, is that it is too expensive to work and live in California, and you need to do something to make it better, which I think is interesting, that the people who have made the most money, who are doing the most, are the ones who are complaining that their taxes are too high or they're not making enough money. I'm like, really?
But that's a good thing because they can move. I know, I understand what you're saying. I mean, it's really weird, bizarre that they're the ones moving out, but it is okay because even though they're going to move, because everyone is able to work from home, because in the past, what would happen is that companies would up and move, and then the residents of that city would be annoyed because then that would cause their all their properties and everything to go up and housing to go up. But this isn't the case this time, right? They're just moving their main offices so they don't get taxed as much, but everyone's at home, so they'll still be working from home. That's not going to bring an influx of more traffic or, make all the standard of living go up. I don't think so.
Exactly. So as companies, continue to look into ways of expanding their profit margins, we'll keep you informed. And we'll put the link down below on all of the things that we're talking about, so you can be as informed as we are. So it is time for our COVID-19 update. Please, please wear your masks. Our doctors and our nurses and our first responders are begging us to please wear our mask and, where possible, social distance. It's really, really important. So as we shared at the beginning, Ellen and members of her crew are tested positive for COVID-19. Sharon Osbourne, Carrie Ann Inaba, Tommy Lister, he played Debo in the Friday movies. Not only did he get COVID, but Ashanti, and most recently, Charlie Pride just received a CMA award, and he got COVID and passed away. So there are so many people who are not just getting this disease or virus. They're not just getting the virus, they're actually losing their life. So please, please, please take a pause, slow down, put on your mask, not just for you, but for anyone who comes in contact with you.
Nobody is immune to this coronavirus, please.
Yes. So here in California, which, we're our Silicon Valley girls, we always look at what are the daily numbers. So back in August, our daily confirmation for COVID was 1,416. Now that's high. And then we went through Halloween and Thanksgiving. So on December 14th, our current new daily cases is 3,537. That's a lot. The governor of California has decided that he was going to drive a lot of the activities for us based on our ICU bed surge. What do we have available should someone get sick with the virus that they can then go and be seen by a doctor? Right now in Sonoma County, we have 0 ICU beds. Napa, we have 30%. Marin, 0 ICU beds. San Francisco, 36%. San Mateo, 16%. Solano County, 11%. Contra Costa County, 24%. Alameda County, 31%, and Santa Clara, 15%. The threshold for a severe stay in place, shelter at home is when the ICU bed availability goes below 15%. Now, I just did Northern California, and our numbers, as bad as they seem, are phenomenal compared to LA, where their numbers are they're out of beds. So in Santa Clara County, I heard yesterday, there is a major public hospital called Valley Medical Center, and it's huge. That particular hospital has no ICU beds. And there's another one that's called Regional in San Jose, and they have no ICU beds. So even if you don't believe this, you think it is, henny penny, it's a lie, people are still dying. And if they can't get inside the hospital for care, and not just COVID care, if I have an aunt who fell and broke her foot, where typically you would go in, you'd have surgery, they would set it, maybe a couple of days you're out. She had surgery one day and they sent her home the next day because they are afraid, because she is an at-risk person, they're afraid she could get COVID. So these numbers, just to give you another perspective, our governor also just ordered 5,000 body bags. And he ordered refrigerated trucks to be on the properties in certain locations, because it's just rampant. And okay, let's give you another scenario. Even if you think I'm good, I'm healthy, I can't get it, my kids are good, they're healthy, they can't get it. 1.6 million children have tested positive for COVID. So now, when you know more, you do more. Initially, we thought kids were fine, they couldn't get it. Well, now we know that's not the case.
Yep, that's so true. It's just, I can't even, sometimes I'm like listening to Glory and I can't even wrap my head around all this. This is like, I just don't understand. I mean, it's not getting any better, it's getting worse, and there's still people out there that don't even think that it's possible for them to catch COVID until they catch it. There's a incident. My mother-in-law lives in a independent senior living facility, and they sent out a letter saying that one of the residents went into hospital for something else other than COVID, And obviously, when you go into the hospital, they test you for COVID. That's just their default norm, right? And they
Mhm.
found out that she had COVID, even though she went in for something else, non-related
Something
COVID.
completely different. Mhm.
Yeah. So this is real people, and I know people that have gone into the hospital and died from COVID, and I'm just hearing more and more. Like earlier on, initially, I didn't know of anyone that had COVID or anyone that died, but I'm hearing more and more people are catching COVID and passing away from it. So this
Yeah.
is really serious. I mean, as I always say, in health, prevention is better than intervention.
Yes, absolutely. And like Rosetta was just saying, right now we're seeing the surge from Thanksgiving. 3 million people went to airports and got on planes. They said another 2.5 to 3 million people got in cars, trains, buses. So the 6 million out of the 345 million people who are moving around, ignoring what they're seeing, hopefully you are not going to repeat this again for Christmas. Because if you do, January is going to be a horrific month for a lot of good people who do not deserve to die just because you want to go and party. Just so selfish. You have to not look at it as me, me, me. For the first time in your life, I want you to think about other people, especially our children. Our babies do not deserve to get this condition. And like Rosetta was saying, there are people who got the virus, was supposedly cured. However, they have existing conditions that warrant them to, still have to be under doctor's care because they can't breathe, their hearts are affected, their lungs are affected. It's not going away. And we have shared with you in previous chats about links to the Facebook group so that you can check it out. And this week on the news, there was a woman. She's like, I'm young, I'm healthy, I can't get COVID, I'm not worried about it. She got COVID. I think she was like real young, like in her 20s, and she looked like she was probably 40. And she said, I'm still having problems breathing. I can't believe this. She goes, and I've been sick for 7, almost 8 months, and she just got COVID again. So she's going to
Wow.
go back through the entire cycle because she thought, number one, I've had it, I'm immune, maybe not so much.
Yeah, and a lot of people are getting COVID and recovering, like Gloria said, but they're having post symptoms. So it doesn't mean that just because you have it and it's cleared, you don't know what kind of situation you'll be in after recovering from COVID. You never know, right? So it's better to be on the safe side and not have it to begin with, because we see a
Absolutely.
lot of people that are having those, and it's really debilitating. It's affecting their life, daily, you know, everyday routines and things that they normally take for granted.
Yeah. And this morning, the news is just afoot because Tom Cruise had a little bit of a meltdown on the set of Mission Impossible 7. I'm like, I didn't know I've seen 6. I'm like, I think I missed a few in the middle somewhere.
I didn't
However,
know he was on 7.
yes, he's on 7, and the crew members are not following COVID protocol, and he blew up. And if you want to, all you got to do is just type in on any browser Tom Cruise blow up, and it'll come up, and you can see and hear what he said. Basically, he told them, if you're not going to adhere to the COVID protocols, you're out of here,
Yep, and that's
because
good.
they've had to stop that movie 3 times because of COVID.
Yeah. And like you were saying, Gloria was saying that, remember, if a cameraman gets COVID, they can replace him. If a director gets, COVID, they can replace him. But if Tom Cruise gets COVID, who's going to replace him? Nobody.
Nobody.
There's not another not another Tom Cruise out there, right?
Exactly. So let's give you some numbers just to keep you informed, worldwide, we have hit 73,817,374 confirmed cases, which has led to 1,624,722 loss of lives. God bless them all. In the United States, I mean, when Rosetta and I are going to do a little bit more research because we want to see what's the comparison percentage-wise of confirmed cases to loss of lives. So we'll share that with you in an upcoming one. In the United States, we've had 16,782,029 confirmed cases, resulting in 305,268 loss of lives. Here in California, we've had 1,671,081 confirmed cases, resulting in 21,481 loss of lives. We have tested Californians 28,149,590 out of our, 45 million citizens. However, in July, our positivity rate was 3.67. Right now it's 11%. It has gone up substantially. So it's not going away. Please consider a Zoom holiday Christmas party celebration. Put on some rock and music, let everybody dance, just stay home, please, please, please. Now, Mitch McConnell had shared this morning on the Senate floor, for the first time, he said they will not be leaving Washington for winter break until they have a package, something to help the American people. This is groundbreaking, because in the past, it was like, one side said, okay, I want this. Another side said, if you don't put this in it, I'm not going to sign it. And for them to say they're going to stay and work it out, I'm hopeful.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're just praying that we give positive vibes to you.
Yes, absolutely. So last week we highlighted a restaurant that we both found that we both know and love. So this week we just want to remind you, restaurants made a tremendous investment to stay open. They put those plexiglass separators. They bought those expensive heaters, outdoor heaters, and those big tents. And with our numbers as high as they are, they can't have people coming in. So please do your part and reach out and place an order, pick up. They can still do pickup, and they can still do like DoorDash deliveries, Uber deliveries, things like that. So let's support our small businesses and our restaurants and just keep them going, because I believe when we're on the other side of this, people have no idea how bad this is, how shocking. They're going to see numbers. They can't even imagine that many businesses have shut down and they're done. That's all going to come out. So
long time business owners, even they just announced the Cliff House in San Francisco is closing down at the end of the year. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, partly because of pandemic as well. I mean, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, as fast as they rush and they come up with alternatives for, doing business. And some restaurants are refusing to close, not because they want to be stubborn. They have no choice if they close, because landlords are still requiring rent. They're not like, oh, we're in this together. When times are better, we'll figure out how to make it up. We'll, maybe we take your rent up a little bit to make up for some of the losses. No, they want that rent right now on time. So
families can't do that. This is your life. This is your livelihood. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They can't afford that. A lot of them are in debt, in thousands and thousands of dollars debt, trying to keep their restaurants alive.
Yeah. They've gone through their savings. They're borrowing money, and another thing, for those who are doing well, who are making money hand over fist right now, please remember that everybody's not in that situation, and be a little compassionate with your words and what you say when you're in mixed conversations. I've been around where people are like, oh, it's not that bad. It is, and like I was sharing with Rosetta, my sister just lost her husband this morning. My aunt she doesn't have COVID. She broke her foot and now she's in pain. So they said, you have two choices. You can do your normal dialysis treatment, or you can, we'll give you something for the pain and put you on hospice. So it's a lose-lose. I'm gonna lose my aunt. I don't know when. This is what this pandemic is doing. It's not just people with COVID. Regular people can't get health care. We have to change this. The new administration, hear us. You have to do better. People shouldn't have to die because they're not meeting some criteria that says when you're over 80, you're going to die anyway. What a horrible way to treat people.
Yeah, that's really, really sad. And so sorry for your loss, Gloria. So
Thanks,
sorry.
sweetheart.
People really need to see that this is really hitting home. Don't know what else to say, but wear your masks and keep your social distancing. And please, as Gloria said, don't gather over the holidays, because a lot of people are gathering. They did that Thanksgiving and they didn't even wear their masks in their homes. They were thinking they were immune to it. No one's immune to it.
It's like, I love Rosetta and I could not think of anything greater than going and seeing her and being with her. And, it's just that we are conscious and we know that it is better for us to stay in our prospective areas until we at least know, if we do get it, it's not going to be detrimental. So
Right.
If we can be responsible, we want everyone to be responsible.
And I don't mind doing the Zooms. We did a family Zoom over Thanksgiving. It was kind of fun.
There was a lady I was doing a Zoom with, and she said because of the pandemic, they found a sweet spot, and people that she's never met that live in other countries have gotten online so that they can now see the American version of their families. So it can be a lot of fun. And it's something that even if it was not COVID, you would never be able to do, that we're able to do this year on Zoom. So if you've got a party plan, hit us up down below and let us know what your plans are.
Yes.
So in closing, we always like to say what Ellen says at the end of her shows now. I feel the love in this room. I send it back out to you. Spread it around the world out there. Just wear your mask, social distance, and be careful.
Yep. And remember, everyone, that this too shall pass. And the vaccines they're already here, some of them, and it's coming. So just wait a little bit more patience. Yeah. Patience is what we're asking for. And just a quick reminder again, we are Silicon Valley girls that chat over tea, and we would love your support for you to like our videos, hit the thumbs up. There you go, there. Subscribe below. And if you don't want to miss any of our chats, the ding-a-ling little bell, ding-a-ling-ling, you can hit that and you'll be notified whenever a video is uploaded. But thanks everyone again for tuning in. And it's the holidays, even though it's not been like any other, we do hope that you're in good spirits and you can still do some kind of celebrating with your family. But remember to always keep smiling. Take care now, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.